Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and I'm here with a new project to play with. And yeah, I was right. I didn't have this thing centered or anything. There we go. A little bit better. I am joined tonight by my lovely wife, Mandy. And yeah, I'm kind of excited about making some progress on this. Yeah, it sounds familiar. The Krampus thing. It sounds a little bit like the version from Futurama. Anyways, so a friend of mine has asked me to make this. Yeah. So I am trying very hard to get this thing done. I've made a lot of progress this week. Yeah, I think I may have heard PewDiePie talk about it. That kind of makes sense, I guess. Hello, Maria. I am making a small bag that's going to house my friend's power bank, which I didn't. I saw like a photograph of him using like a measuring tape to go around it, but I've not actually seen this thing in person, so I'm really hoping this works out in the right price. Wow. Right. So yeah, this is just it's a real small bag. It's gonna have to get holes punched in it and then grommets in there because he wants it to close via a drawstring. So and I am not comfortable with the notion of trying to put grommets into knotted work, but we'll see how that goes. It's like one of these things where the last time I put grommets in something was it was in the panniers. Yeah. Yeah, because calling them fat sacks would just get confused with something else. So you can see the first row was kind of, all going to the right. And then I put in this row here where it's all 100% going to the left. It doesn't even change colors. It just goes to the left. Then I went back to the right again. And then another smaller row going off to the left. And I'm going back to the right. So it's a little bit crazier than the last bag I made. But it's still looking pretty cool though, I think. So let's see, 3, 3, 3, 9. So this brings us up to nine knots in this row. I think I want to make this one closer to like a 13 or 14. I'm still trying to give it that kind of randomized look, which is actually surprisingly harder than you might think. Trying to force something to look random. Yeah, it's just... But it's turning out pretty cool. But yeah, this will hold a power bank, which I'm hoping that they make more the same size, because if like something goes wrong with this power bank, this is gonna be like a lot of work for something that won't have a whole lot of use for anything else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, this is brand new. The other one the other night is sort of done. Mandy's still making the strap for it. Once that's done, I'll post pictures on well, probably all the social media. My first thought was on Reddit, but it'll be I'll post it everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, the whole shebang. I wanted to wait until the strap was done because that's kind of like a big part of it as well. But yeah, the other one was all blues. So obviously, I've kind of been digging on this whole make things look random here lately. But it just seems cool. I suppose so. YouTube has the community tab. I guess I can post photos over there as well. I never really use it for that. When I have used the tab, it's usually like to share. Yeah, thanks. Oh, thank you. Basically, I just use the community tab to where I like share patterns early with the YouTube members, because you can actually like say whether it's a public post or a members only thing. So that's kind of all I've really used it for. But I suppose I could do progress things over there as well, I guess. Yeah, Maria, thank you very much. I love it. I think this is some pretty cool stuff here. Yeah, it's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Trying to figure out where the rows are so that way when I change the direction going back the other way again, that it looks cool. So I'm trying to match to the length of what the first rows were. That's why I'm counting it out. Like this row here was like 10 knots. And then the one above it was going 5 backwards. And then this one was 3 backwards. So I'm going to do a bigger one and then do the 5 again. Yeah, it's such a mix of colors. I really kind of think that makes it kind of cool. The colors actually, now that you mention it, kind of remind me of that meme where the guy's like, "This is fine." So hilarious. Okay, so wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be a dog or what it was supposed to. I just know like that. Yeah. But yes, the colors are very in line with that meme. And now that you say it looks like fire, that's all I can see. But yeah, I like tried to compare this to like the power banks that I have, and size wise, this is too small for anything I got. That would actually be kind of dope. Yeah, I can see that. Picasso was sort of boxies, and yeah, I can see that. There we go. So this row brings it to the right length, and now if I go all the way around, and come out the other side, this will make the perfect size for this row. Hang on, just kind of rotate it around just a bit. Yeah, I considered waiting until today to kind of really get it started. But seeing as how it's a friend who's, you know, gone and asked me to make it and everything, like kind of waiting that long just seemed kind of cruel. So I figure you guys wouldn't mind kind of seeing where it is when I get, you know, like this far into it or whatever. Like I said, like my power banks won't even come close to fitting this. So, you know, if it wasn't for the photo of him holding a measuring tape around it, I would be really kind of worried. But yeah, he took a photo of that. So yeah. Back to me. So somebody was recently asking me like how do I keep my strings from getting all tangled. You can kind of tell a little bit from what is going on right here. When I get to the far right side, I kind of like once I'm off to this side here, I'm just going to take these two strings and set them off over here. Now, everything that's in this group in the middle here, they are kind of already pre-sorted, and it doesn't matter if the ends of them are kind of in a mess because all I have to worry about is this string that I'm working with. And as long as I just kind of work that string along, yeah, it's pretty simple. And then when I get to like here, I'm going to change the color, right? So I take this and kind of carefully just kind of, you know, move it in with the rest of the group. And I grab this color. Now this is the one I have to worry about. It's not tangled, so I can move on. I don't remember how many strings there actually are in this project because when we were trying to do the math to figure out how big it needs to be, we overdid it by a lot. And I went off of measuring tapes and rulers and stuff instead. So I really honestly don't know how many strings are involved. It's a lot, obviously. It's more than 90. And I know that just based on like size bags and stuff I tend to do. At least I'm pretty sure it's around there. Hmm. Yeah. I not most every day, or except for Wednesdays. I tend to take Wednesdays off, get out of the house and stuff. Um, but yeah, I work most every day. And slumps, I don't get too many of those. I kind of get excited. It's for me, tying bracelets is a form of like meditation, and I kind of like getting involved with projects, and I get excited about it, and it helps me with the whole dopamine thing to get working on a project of whatever type. And I there's so many things that I can come up with and do that can kind of keep me motivated. You know, like right now, I'm working on a series of videos where I'm teaching how to take a pattern and double it. And basically, you don't have to do it the same way each time. And that's one of the things I'm like really excited about showing off, is the fact that we can double a bracelet one way and that might look cool. But what if we do it, you know, maybe a different way, and you know, really change things up. So I've been taking like some really easy patterns and then doubling it, and some of them actually end up turning out to be so much harder once it's been doubled. So yeah, it's kind of neat. And then, you know, I want to get back into doing, like, there was a series I did called the Blindside Creations, where people submit pattern ideas that they want me to do. And basically the premise is I don't peek ahead to see what it is you guys threw at me. And then I just make a video of me trying to handle the pattern and possibly putting my own spin on it. So those are kind of fun. But yeah, I'm easily amused. I really enjoy what I do. And yeah, I don't know. Like even when I take like days off, I sometimes miss doing this. No, but I did a couple guitar straps, which were probably a bit longer, a little bit more intense. I've done, but two guitar straps, a ukulele strap, which was like the guitar strap but thinner. Trying to think some of the other. I did a wall hanging that's 5 foot wide. Did 3 pillows, a bunch of decent sized bags, many small bags. I've like lost track. There was once upon a time you could ask me how many bags I made, and I would be able to tell you the exact number. But we have gotten so far past that, I can't honestly even tell you how many bags have been made so far. So if I was going to do a camera strap and I was worried about right on, yeah, mine too is the ADHD that keeps me going at it, and this is the whole how I get the dopamine is by working on this stuff. As far as holding weight, if I was going to do a camera strap, I would probably stitch my bracelet work to leather, so that the leather was actually doing the bulk of the lifting, and that the bracelet stuff was just the thing on top, the icing on the cake, so to speak. So that way, yeah, you didn't have to worry about that. And then I would add the hardware that's on the other camera straps. There's like this little thin fiber stuff that's I don't know if that's got like steel wound with plastic around it or what it is, but there's something they use. Video on which one? On the putting it onto leather? Yes. Hang on. I'll see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you look up in my thing. Okay, so what I did for the leather one was I showed how to do it to a bracelet. That's actually called Friendship Bracelet Leather Cup Tutorial was the name of the video. Mandy, can you put that in the oh, wait, maybe I can. There we go. There's a link to the video where I put a bracelet on there. So it'd be the same exact method. It would just be obviously much, much bigger. But yeah, I too have the ADHD, and this just happens to be the one thing that kind of really helps me along to help me to, I don't know, not have anxiety issues and not to smoke cigarettes and not do a lot of things. Yeah, this is coming along pretty quickly. I do. I take Ritalin, and been on it now for, I want to say a couple of years. Am I right? Does that sound about right? Honey?
Sorry?
How long have I been medicated for ADHD? Has it been a couple of years now?
So?
Yeah, I think so too. Because we don't see her, like monthly or
Very
anything.
often, no.
Yeah, and we've seen her a lot of times.
Yeah. So I would say a couple years, yeah.
Well, we were seeing her during the whole mask up phase. So, like 2019 and whatever. We saw her before. We saw her before
COVID. Was 2020. COVID was 2020.
Right.
We saw her before COVID.
Yeah.
For you?
I think so.
You sure that wasn't that?
No, because it was, we saw her and it was after it was wearing her masks. No, it's a Pepsi Black. Pepsi 0 calorie. No, it's 10:25 at night. If I had a Monster, Lord knows what would happen. Well, I'd probably still sleep, but could be weird. No, Pepsi Black. I really think they should sponsor me because it's my favorite drink. That, and there's some stuff that's made for kids that you mix with water that's really nice. 6:30 in the morning? Whoa. That is early. I accomplished very little at that hour, except for maybe sleeping. Right. Yeah. Being originally from Michigan, in the US, yeah, I'm kind of aware like how weird the time zones and stuff can be. But yeah, it never ceases to amaze me. So you guys are on the daylight savings, which makes normally during like all summer long, it's 12 hours difference between Singapore and Detroit, and then it goes to 13 hours during the winter months, which is hard for me to calculate which direction it goes. But I guess I should realize they fell back 1 hour, so it is. Yeah, I love the fact that there's just people from all over that check it out. Last stream we had somebody from Rio de Janeiro, which I thought that was super cool. I kind of really wish the language barrier wasn't so tough. Oh, right on. No, I don't. I know a couple words in some other languages, but that's it. Like hola in Spanish or bagus in Malay, which is good. But that's about it. Like, oh my God, you would when you're in Malaysia and you tell somebody that the food they made is bagus, and you're a Caucasian like me, oh man, they lose their mind. They love that. It's pretty hilarious. It's English. Honestly, it's English. There are a lot of Malaysians here. There's a lot of
Malays.
Indians here. Malays?
There are Malaysians in Malaysia.
Malay. Sorry. Malay for one language. Chinese is another. Indian. And what's the fourth?
Eurasian?
There's third. Oh, Eurasian. But they're all taught English. So that's the common language for everybody is English. Even if they speak another language. Most kids here speak at least 2 languages, which is amazing to me because like I struggle with just one. Gonna spend the night. That's Mandy, and yes, she does. But you speak other languages, if only for ordering food. Heck yeah. Singapore is amazing. You'll enjoy it here, I'm sure. But like you've ordered food in Cantonese, which I guess is just a different form of Chinese, but Cantonese, and you speak Hokkien, which is like a different dialect. Very cool. It was. It was. Oh, we could have used your help last week when the person came in from Rio de Janeiro. I'm pretty sure that that's their first language, and she was really struggling. I feel terrible. Like, if I get it, if you can't speak English, it's not your first language. Like, wow. You know, like if you speak two languages, like I will take my time and do my best to try to communicate, because I barely speak one, and I struggle with it. So I mean, yeah, I don't think everybody's quite into the sports like you are, sweetheart. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a Commonwealth game aired on in the United States. I'm
No.
I'm pretty sure if you want to watch that in the United States, you have to like subscribe to a special channel from your cable company, because it's not like mainstream.
Will it be in Canada?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird rules in English that makes it kind of hard. Yeah, despite the proximity, like Canada was probably no more than 100 miles away from where I grew up at any given point. Yeah, it didn't mean that I could see, much. Like there was one channel, I think, of TV that came across that was Canadian. Kinda, yeah. Except for it's like a smaller version of the Olympics that just includes countries that were part of the British Commonwealth. You put that singing. I don't care. This is a good song. The video is hilarious. It's just Olympics where they get to exclude America, despite the fact that America was once British, kinda, till the whole taxation thing.
So apparently the United States is not part of the Commonwealth because it gained independence from the UK long before the Commonwealth was created.
Plus, who wants to invite them anyways, you know? America has the World Series. The only country to play in it, but it's the World Series.
Gives a different meaning to the song It's a Small, Small World.
Yeah, it's a real small world for them. You got Americans that think that the age of the planet is 2024. You know, they're not just. She'll be my friend till the end. If I lose you're still Tommy Superman. I love this song too. Holding my hand. You kryptonite. So the plan is once I get all the way around this thing, I'm going to go back the other direction for like another wider row like this 5 up here. Kind of stoked about it, actually. Mind you, I kind of prefer going nuts to the right, but I kind of like this fact that this thing has these rows that are going in the opposite direction. Just a lot of chatter. I'm sure that none of the text will make any sense because it's like questions and me answering, but yeah, it's all good. The Floss or Run DMC, the musicians? It's tricky. It's tricky to rock a rhyme to rock a rhyme. Yes. DMC Floss. So overall, DMC Floss. So the last few times that I have tried using DMC Floss, the quality upset me. Because I use such long lengths of string, having a thing of a skein of floss that has a knot in it because they had to join 2 pieces together is super frustrating. So yeah, I cut my string in thirds. If there's one of the pieces is joined with a knot, I might not be able to use that 1/3 in a project. And with the price of DMC being as expensive as it is, it's a real setback for me. Now that's not a problem for somebody who's doing cross stitch or embroidery or whatever with the DMC Floss. it's probably fine. But I use really long lengths of string, and that really throws a wrench in the works, especially when I'm like trying to make a bag or something and I order string specifically for it. I don't want to have to like add 10% or 20% just to make up for the flaws that is in their materials. Like that would be really bad for me. And again, the price is wow. Right? Yeah. It doesn't there was another supplier I had that had that problem a lot, so I stopped using them. But yeah, the where I get my floss from, it doesn't seem to be a problem. Oh, the 5-foot thing, yeah, is it's just a wall hanging. It's on the wall in my living room. It was just a crazy idea. I don't know. And then the whole COVID thing came, and we were like, oh yeah, for sure that we had to be seeing the shrink from before COVID, because I don't think the big project was necessarily meant to be a COVID thing. Oh, that's all right. It's using, well, I can't turn down string. I do have some, and I've been trying to figure out what to use it for, to use it up, because it's a whole box full of it. But yeah, I can't say no to string. It just turned, this stuff here is a bit thicker, so my bracelets end up being a bit bigger. But it might be kind of fun to do some DMC stuff where I do it as, you know, petite as possible, because it really is so much smaller than this. Yeah, I don't know how much shipping would cost. Shipping to Singapore seems to be kind of expensive. But if you send it, I could maybe make something really cool and send that back. That would be fun. Wow, that's not bad. That's how many for $1 then? Like 15, 30, 60, 90. Almost like 6.5 is $1 for $1. Wow. I remember there was a sale. I think it was like 6 for $1 or something like that. 5 for $1 maybe, at Joann Fabrics. And I went and I found the manager, because there was the inside of the flyer, the thing that came in the mail, it said you were limited to so many, and I wanted to know if he'd make an exception. And he's like, "Look, I don't care. Buy as much as you want." Cool. That I went and filled up one of those little baskets full of floss. Yeah, it's over $1 here. It's over $1. Anyways, I bought so much at a Joann Fabrics that my receipt, because they rung up each one individually, my receipt was 16 foot long. Like, there might be a picture of that somewhere. I'll have to look. But yeah, it was ridiculous. I know that's pretty standard size receipt for CVS. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, back when I was in the States, like DMC was pretty much my only go-to string. Except for, well, yeah. Yeah, they just had one anyways. It was so huge, I had to take it. Nice. It's honeycut. It is, honestly, it's as difficult as you want to make it. If you go with a pattern that you love that is easy, it can be real simple. If you decide to try to make it really the complex pattern, it can be a nightmare. It's really up to you. If you're comfortable with the pattern though, there's a number of my tutorials that you can use to kind of give you the guidelines on how to make one and do it easily. Right on. Well, get a hold of me if you need help. If you're, kind of pondering on how to get it started or do whatever, I might be of help. How big do you want the bag to be? Like, are you talking to fit a phone in it, or just a little bit smaller? Like, what's... Because 96 strings, you can start fitting, well, if you're using thick floss like this, 96 strings, you can have a bag that'll hold things like your identification card or business cards, credit cards, that kind of stuff. If you want to have like a phone in it, I think you need upwards of like 150-ish or more. Well, it depends on the phone, obviously. Yeah, then you're probably looking 140, like 160-ish, right around 160 strings going around. If you're using this stuff that's this size, this big, right? My string came from China, and it's thicker than DMC. So if you're converting to DMC, the number of strings goes up by a bunch. Wow, Maria, good for you. Thank you. That's awesome. I have my semicolon is right here. I have a semicolon inside of a lotus thing. But yeah, there's like so many other things to decide when you're gonna try to make a bag. Like, do you want to have a flap over the top? Do you want it to, like button down kind of thing, or do you want it just to cinch closed? Yeah, that sounds about right. 200 for DFC sounds about right. Okay, wait. that's 200 strings coming down. Now, depending on the length, because if you're fitting your phone in it, there's going to be times where some of those strings won't be long enough. So that's a thing. Awesome. But let's say if you're cutting the strings in thirds, like the way I do it, right? So you have 200 strings. That's 200 divided by thirds. Hang on a second. Like 67 skeins just to go around for the whole bag if you're cutting it in thirds, which is a nice long length, relatively easy to work with. Then you're going to possibly double that just to be on the safe side in case any of the strings run out. That's awesome. Do you have a link where people interested can like find your shop or wherever, however you're doing this? You should share it, Maria. Yeah, you're gonna want some extra strings, maybe another 33 skeins, so like not like 100 skeins to have the 200 strings needed. And it kind of really depends on your pattern. Like if, like the cool thing about this going, you know, like all cattywampus is I can avoid strings that are getting used a whole lot more. So that's kind of a thing. But if you have a set pattern, like arrowheads, that uses all the strings pretty evenly, but some other patterns like go heavy on one color than another. And if you know somebody that works at DMC, you should see about if they want to sponsor a project and have me put together something complex and interesting, because I would be so into that. That would be so much fun. Oh, heck yeah. Right on. So the one thing about an arrowhead pattern is because the strings are getting used relatively evenly, when it comes time that the strings are running short and you have to exchange it, you run into this problem where they all want to get exchanged really close to the same time, and it really gets kind of dodgy. But that's, you know, as long as you know that it's coming and you know how you're going to change out the strings, which I've done videos on it, on how to replace strings that get too short. But yeah, that can be a little bit hairy. That's why, do I have my board? No, it's in the other room. If you look, wait, I can pull this up. Hang on. Hang on. Huh. I wanted to show off the one pattern that was, oh, hang on, desk. So that's one of the guitar straps. You can see I stitched it to leather, like there is stitching on the outside of this. You can see on the back side, but not so much in here. It kind of hides. But that was one of the guitar straps. I was looking in here to show you. Oh, there's the wall hanging. There's the wall hanging again. Me just holding it. Kind of gives you perspective. I'm 6'4". So these are the pillows I made. There's a pillow just coming off the clipboard. That pattern, the pattern that's on my arm, is a really good pattern that's sort of arrowhead, but it uses some of the colors better than others. And thank you for your subscription. Thank you. So yeah, this is my Reddit. I have a post called "Not Just Knots." If you look for it in there, like the category or whatever, it's Not Just Knots. That was my first bag I made. Actually, that bag, this is the pattern that works out really good for trying to do bags, because it uses the outside colors the most, but you can have all the colors balanced by how the inner ones can be like the same colors or whatever. It just, if you spread it out right, this one turns out really super well. But yeah, crazy stuff. Yeah, there's, if you ever want inspiration, between my Reddit, my Instagram, and my webpage, there's so much stuff. And my bot has printed out the Honeycut, KM Honeycut. Thank you again for subscribing. I'm going to just stick that underneath the clip for now. Yeah, sir. Like I said, yeah, Pinterest, I have gone through Pinterest before and taken a look at different patterns. It's kind of fun, the stuff that gets shared over there. Wait. Oh, that was nice. But Maria, we need a way for some of us that are like far away from you to be able to participate as well. I was thinking of, like, I would want to contribute to this, and yeah, I know that, you know, stress can get people in a lot of different ways, and there's a, you know, there needs to be more awareness and there needs to be more compassion, especially, I think, with men, because, you know, if I was to tell one of my friends, like, hey man, you know, I'm not so well in my headspace, they would laugh at me, punch me in the arm, and tell me to suck it up. You know, it's just the culture. And yeah, it's a pretty serious topic, and it's absolutely relatable to me. So yeah, I you know, whether it's sending you some bracelets to add to the progress, or actually just making a contribution, I kind of want to be a part of that. So It does. It does. And it took me a long time to kind of get the help that I needed. And again, society's stigma on what it is to go get help made it kind of difficult for me to really actually seek out any help. And then I got a really good doctor who now deals with my whole because I have ADHD and I have manic depression, which is also called bipolar. And when left unchecked, it can be really creative and awesome and amazing for a while, and then suddenly just turned to really bad. Yeah. Honey, can you send her a link to where she can, like, we can DM in private or something?
Sure.
Oddly enough, since I've been in Singapore, if I get around like dogs, I have, mind you, I've never had this problem before, but I get around dogs here and I start to just wanting to claw my nose off. It's something different in the dander, possibly because it's so much more humid here or something. I don't know what it is, but like I said, I've never been allergic to dogs before. Right on. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like I said, never had that problem before. Mandy had a dog. We had a the hell is Tricky?
Pepion.
Papillon. He was a good boy. Yeah, I didn't have too much trouble with him. But the neighbors' dogs, man, I can't go over her house anymore. It's just too much. It's either that or get all jacked up on Benadryl. Yeah, it might be. I know that like people with allergies like this tend to like get poodles and stuff because they're like easier to keep. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Two borders sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, I imagine that, but the frisbee thing, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds exhausting.
Yeah, I get a little worried about cats. I have a wall hanging that took 9 months to make with tassels on it. I think I would lose my mind if the cat got a hold of that. And I couldn't blame them because, you know, the wind blows the tassels or whatever. But yeah, it's just thinking about it, it's got me all starting to stress. Wow. Yeah, growing up, I had a oh, that's cool. Growing up, I had a dog. I had a Norwegian elk hound who absolutely loved winter days. Like the deeper the snow, the happier that dog was. And that was back in the 70s, back when Michigan got blizzard like snowstorms and stuff, where you get like, 3 foot of snow and the dog would just like, boop. You just see it kind of bounce up here and there. It's hilarious. Uh, but obviously, a dog like that wouldn't work out over here because of the tropical weather and the humidity and everything. Um, if Chihuahuas weren't such nippy little whatevers, I'd probably go for something tiny like that. Mostly because I think it'd be hilarious, me being 6'4" and like 230-pound guy carrying around a dog that's like, you know, a pint. Yeah. And Chihuahuas would love like this atmosphere here, like because they're like from warm regions. Yeah, but we don't have yards, and everybody lives in like flats. Like I live on the second floor. Like a Doberman needs a spot to be able to run around, and I would feel terrible for a Doberman in this country. My friend had a Doberman, and used to love going to the parks. We would take her out to run around, and she would like. Back then, I was living in like the Pontiac area. We'd go over to Kensington Park, which is like a it's not a state park. It's like a, I don't know what kind. But anyways, we'd go out there, and the park is huge, and that somehow that dog could always find deer poop, roll around in it, make itself good and stinky, so it could try to sneak up on deer. And occasionally got really close to it, but mostly didn't, because it, instead of being like stealthy and sneaky, it was just like too excited and overzealous or whatever, to kind of give the deer a kind of a heads up that there it was. Plus, deer run fast, like crazy fast. Oh, so there is no schedule for next week, because we're going to go off for a little bit, for like 2 nights. And I'm kind of concerned with when I'm going to get back, like what all has to be done and things like that. So there's a possibility that I may stream like on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Not Wednesday.
Okay, so yeah, maybe Thursday, Friday, maybe, but I don't want to commit to it, so I've left it all blanks.
The live stream will be back on Saturday though.
But yes, that is, and I put that on the announcement thing over on the community tab, where there's normally a schedule. It says that we'll be back next Saturday, same time, same everything. Yeah. Just a little break from tying knots, and just a chance to get out, try new foods, explore new places. So despite kind of just getting this row started here when the stream started, we're more than halfway around. So yeah, we'll definitely probably be onto the area where it starts going back the other direction. Kind of exciting. Okay, you go get the dogs ready. Have a good one. Thank you. Oh, I just realized something that we need to bring with us. Some workout clothes so I can do the bikes. Look like the hotel had a gym. All right. Trying really hard not to let all the black strings get all kind of bunched together. And it's kind of hard to sort of like navigate around them. So in about 10 minutes, we're going to have the puzzle game, which is where the whole screen breaks up into a whole bunch of little squares, gets all shifted around, and you guys have the fun of trying to put it back together. And it gives me a chance to take a quick break and run away from the computer for a moment. Shouldn't just string things be like popping in about now? If she does, I'm going to laugh so hard. So obviously, if I had used some dice, I could have made this actually randomized. Roll the dice, pick the number, do that many knots, change strings, repeat. It really does slow things down a lot. And I know this because I did a very big bag with that exact technique. And the dice I used a 10-sided dice. So, yeah, there was a wide range. Yeah. It was pretty cool. It's a cool bag. So, it's today. I've only done one alpha, and that was a bag. Alphas feel like cheating, and the bag that I did looked a lot like these, except for it was going around in circles, which it felt like it took a lot longer. I don't know that it necessarily really did or not, but it really felt like, like basically segment knotting makes things go quicker. And doing an alpha going around in circles just felt like it was just forever. But it turned out looking really super, super cool. And I learned some techniques to make it work.
Mandy Baitler asked me, is it pizzle time? Oh, you bet it's pizzle time. Get ready to knot up those strings and have a blast. Just remember not to let them bunch up. Let's make some patterns as beautiful as a perfectly cooked pizzle.
It sounded like me, except for like it had weird breaks in the pause, but like it was a cross between me and like Charlie Penguin Zeros, his monotone. Oh my god, that is so funny. That was really funny. Yeah, there was a typo for a puzzle, and yeah. It's one of those things around here where typos get a lot of typos just live on forever.
It has to be a good typo, though. Not just any typo.
No. Yeah, like the hello help thing.
Mm-hmm. We blame Minute Craft for that one.
Yeah, that was Minute Craft. Who is the Pizzle? Was that just String Things? Or was that Rara? Who? One of them was like getting excited about the puzzle game and called it a Pizzle. And yeah, that's just been a thing ever since. Was it you, Rara? I don't remember. Could have been Rainbow. I know it was a regular. Wait, what? That's don't do that. Don't do that because I've never looked it up and I don't know what that means. Right. I don't know if there's an actual other urban thing for Pizzle. It's a puzzle game. All right. It's 11:30. We can do this. Hang on. Let me get the not that one, this one. Puzzle game. Start game. Yeah. Nice going, guys.
Good job, Rara.
Yeah. So while I was up, I got this thing. You put it in the freezer, and it's got like water or something inside that like makes it like it helps my neck. Like sometimes when I get like working really hard like this, it can really take a toll on my neck. So this just somehow makes it all feel better. Yeah, Rara is amazing at this game. Yeah. So wait, what does pizzle mean? I'm curious.
Dog owners would think of the dried tight thing that you give your dog to chew.
Oh.
But what goes way, way back.
I'm almost all the way around this thing. You can't quite see it, but the angle is right on the edge over here. Okay, now I need it in WhatsApp because now you guys are. Ew. So there's a bot thing that runs in the background that every single time somebody makes a comment, it picks a number. And I don't remember how many, it's like 10,000 or 50,000. But it's a lot. It's a big number. If it picks the number 1, you win. And that means all you had to do was just type something in and the bot to just land on 1. There's nothing you can do to make it land on number 1. And there's nothing that helps to boost the odds. It's just about chatting. Because the more people chat, the more Google thinks, wow, there's interactions and the community is, you know, doing a thing or whatever. And so to try to help encourage it, I came up with this thing. So yeah, it's a little bot thing that runs along in the background, kind of like how I did the puzzle game. That is run by the same bot, just a different program. Kind of crazy. We experimented before. We tried it like 1 in 1,000, and it happened really, really quickly. So we were like, okay, we got to up the number. It might be 50,000. It's a lot. Yeah, it does a whole bunch of crazy stuff. It's like the background here will change colors, and there's congratulations, and a confetti thing shoots off, and yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, actually. Really looking forward to it happening. Oh, it suddenly got quiet. I need more questions, more things to talk about. What? Let's see. Oh, so last Tuesday I was live streaming, working on some stuff, and somebody hung out with me for almost 5 hours. No, I don't do any. I didn't even know Bracelet Book had a thing going on. It would take away from me trying to finish a project for a friend, and the videos that I do. But anyway, somebody hung out with me for 5 hours, and I thought it was pretty cool. But they never said anything, so I have no idea who it was. The one who's so far away when I feel a snake bite enter my vein. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, the most interaction I've had with Bracelet Book was a number of the patterns that were sent to me as blindsided creations all seem to have been on Bracelet Book. And yeah, I don't know. It's not. I don't like how you can't just right click on the image and like save the image to yourself like you can with friendshipbracelets.net. You can save the whole pattern in the little thing. It's easy. If you want to like save it for later to work on it, it's just so easy. So yeah, whenever you see me picking out patterns, it's going to be friendshipbracelets.net. So far away when I feel this thing, but I'm here again, and I don't remember. So far away when I feel this thing, but to my baby. Yeah. The other thing that kind of disappoints me when it comes to the two web pages is the fact that make my own templates to the size that I know that my bracelet would be, right? So I can find the center point. I can work my way out from the center. I can come up with stuff. So it doesn't repeat. It's not like a continuous thing. And as a result, like the websites don't take patterns like I make. And I can see kind of why. It's sort of, you don't, people in general would probably want to be able to size it up a little bit bigger than what I made it because my string's doubled and it's this really fat string or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I teach how to make your own templates, how to be able to fill in your own patterns, how to do stuff that's a little bit more complicated and a little bit more intense. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I can totally do it. I have the ability to figure that kind of stuff out. But most of the time I don't want it to. I don't want a pattern to repeat. I want it to have an interesting start, a gem-like center that makes it, like this bracelet here. I love the way this thing turned out. I added the lighter rose to give me the extra length needed. But like that, to me, that's awesome. This one here is a perfect 4 times it repeats going around. These are just bracelets that I made that I really liked. Mandy's got a matching one to this. And then these two are made by Mandy. She made the Kumi ones. But yeah. So this one was altering a pattern. This one here was meshing to get. Right on. Yeah, I like my work to be different. I like there to be a little bit of, my own whatever into it, so that, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I like making things different and fun and interesting. I want people that, even the people who make bracelets, to stop and look at it and go, "Oh, looks a little extra." Oh yeah, they're Kumis, made by Mandy. Yes, yeah. So this is like a round Kumi, and then it's like a box. I don't know what is this one called?
Mitake braid. It is still a kumihimo.
It's still a Kumi. It's just a special kind of Kumi. Yeah, Mandy's pretty much got the whole Kumi thing like down. Like, she makes so many crazy cool patterns. Almost all my loops are all made by her. And yeah, it's pretty spectacular stuff. Right. Yeah, the boxy ones, yeah, those leave me just scratching my head too. I don't get it. They absolutely difficult, like seriously crazy stuff. Look at that crown, honey.
2 hours later.
Might be too big for my head.
No, your little head right there with the tongue sticking out looks like it fit perfectly. Yeah. Hey, just string things made it. Hello. Yeah, the stream starts at 10 p.m. Singapore time, and it's already midnight. So yeah, 14 moves compared to 4 from the other two of you. And midnight is like usually my wind down time, but I'm typically just playing games on my phone at this hour if I'm not working on a project that absolutely requires my attention. Usually winding down. I'm kind of hooked on this one game right now. Oh my god! Like seriously, almost have a problem with it. It's Alien Invasion. Yeah, Mandy's up much later than I am. I have to put on a mask and listen to the sound of like water, you know, or pink noise or something. Yeah, I'm the same. I have to get a lot of sleep, otherwise I'm like really, really have a hard time. But like that medication that I took at 11:30, like that one will have me wind down pretty quickly. So yeah, usually. I think that crown fits on the owl as well. Just saying. Oh, Aw. Mm. Mm. So the rows are already getting shorter, so I just have to be cautious to not break the line going across here, like the length thing. Yeah, because some of us here, you know, didn't know such things. Well, British have like all kinds of weird stuff. You know, you call a dresser a chest of drawers, you call the trunk of a car a boot. I even just recently was watching, I don't know, Instagram or whatever, one of the shorts. The boys are having a go at the name of a BMW. There's a list you can get yourself on so they don't robocall you. And like they can get in trouble if they do. I remember that from my being in America and getting myself off the list. Oh, those are members. People who put like $4 toward a month to be a member. They get to watch the videos early, they get to have the little smiley faces. There's member only streams, the member only hangout. Not subscribe, it's a members thing. It's the join. Like she's already subscribed, among other purposes. Right. Yeesh. Oh wow. It's a nice way of helping me to be able to have the money to buy enough floss to keep this ongoing thing. Because I go through a lot of string, honestly. Like, really a lot of string. Just string things. Was it you that was hanging out with me on Tuesday? Somebody was on the live stream for 5 hours and never said a word. Really curious. At first I thought it was minute crap, but I asked her and it wasn't.
You have a stalker.
It kept me talking for like 5 hours, just talking to the void. Oh, then that might have been who it was. Well, there's like now, okay, it was 8, it's down to 7 people subscribed to the channel. So there's this very small number of possible who it could have been. So if just String Things fell asleep on YouTube, then yeah, that probably checks out. Cause I asked like a couple times, like, you know, who is there? So that would make sense. That'd be so cute. Poor dog sitting there watching strings getting tied in the knots, thinking, damn it, my thumbs are useless. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, typically during the day. In my hours, it's probably between 3 and 4 in the afternoon. And then depending on what's going on, it can go on for 3 hours. It can go on for 5 hours. It's just random. It's behind the scenes look at me making my videos and stuff. Yeah. So then, so the streams are a bit, like I said, like usually it's Tuesday, Thursday. Next week it's not because we're going to be out of town. But yeah, I try to at least 3 days a week, couple hours at least. Sometimes it's me making bracelets where I can actually talk to people, or sometimes it's me recording the patterns where I can't talk. I just get the video out of the way, and then afterwards I can talk. Oh, and then members get the chance to do a monthly hangout first Sunday of the month, which would have been like just our last Sunday, is a hangout where, you know, I, for like 3 hours, pretty much almost the same time as what this stream is, hang out, answer questions, help solve problems. If you're like have an idea for a pattern but can't quite get it going, I will do my part to try to make that work for you. Or we can talk about anything, pets, and it's been pretty random in the past. So, yeah. It's $5 Singapore money, but $4 USA. So. So now, just a few more knots and this whole row is done. And then I'm going to go back the other direction with a, like 5-knot row. Just because I think it'll look kind of cool. The other bag I was working on last week did not go backwards at all. And I just, while I was starting with this, I was like, what can I do different just to make it just a little bit more interesting, just a little something else. And this is what I came up with. Yeah, normally I would be streaming like tomorrow, but tomorrow I want to do packing. I want to do some kind of cleaning around the office here. Mandy got me some stuff for organizing. Ooh, my favorite color scheme is a rainbow. It doesn't have to be specific colors because I played with it, pastels to vibrance to anything in between. But what I like about it is it's a fade that goes all the way around full circle. Like if you do just a fade, if you go like a gray to black, like a monochrome scheme, it's cool. But then when the white meets up with the black again, there's that stark contrast. But a rainbow is a bunch of colors that it's just a continuous loop. There doesn't have to be that harsh, you know, where it stops and starts. I love that a lot. No, I don't typically do alphas. No, it's almost always the normal patterns. Yeah, it just feels like the alphas feels a lot like cheating. The way you can just put a color anywhere you want to. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't get the same kind of thrill of trying to make a thing happen with regular knots. Trying to make it interesting, trying to make it colorful and creative. Like there's something about normal patterns that just kind of get me going. I love the whole thought process to try to make like linking chains or yin yang symbols or just all kinds of stuff. Like there's so many things you can do with just regular knots. So this is, again, it says high score. And these are the images from Space Invaders. These guys used to do this thing as they're walking from this to this and back. I did this all, and this is an alpha. This is all the dark strings are going to the right. And the light ones. The light ones are going the other. Yeah. Normals have a lot of cool stuff they can do. Granted, you could do this same exact patterns in an alpha, but then that would be kind of weird that you're doing a normal pattern with alpha style. But it could be done. Oh, right on. Well, thank you. Yeah. I haven't, but I've considered it. I had somebody do it for me once. I had this idea for a bag. Actually, I just saw it in my Reddit posts. So I had the idea of going red and then a red orange, then orange, and then an orange yellow, and then yellow, all the way through the whole rainbow. And so the ones are like it's the red orange or the orange yellow, kind of make that really nicely variegated. So when it went together in the bag, it looked tie-dyed because, you know, you had these, some were solid colors, but what was in between everything was, it was kind of interesting. Yeah, for me, the alphas are way too slow. They really, I need that dopamine rush of completing an area. And it's just row after row with the alpha. But yeah. But no, that tie-dyed bag turned out amazing. Cool. Yeah, I've got on one of my bags, I have a tube. It's got AWOL on one side and then like some letters, a recommendation on the other side. It's kind of mean. I talk a lot about it in my videos when I'm making. Like if you just watch the videos of me making stuff, you might kind of catch how I do it because they're sped up, so you don't have to like watch it in real time. Because God, that would be troublesome. Like some of my thicker recent bracelets have been taking me like 80 minutes. It's really just about concentrating on one area if it works. Not all patterns can be segment knotted. That's possibly why you're having trouble. I'd have to see what patterns you were trying to do it with. But yeah, typically speaking, segment knotting, it just really works out well if it's the right kind of pattern, the right kind of thing. I just had one that would not really super well, like a big old bracelet, and it took like 10 minutes off of the time because I work with templates, so I know that my bracelets have the same number of knots and stuff. Please, I love you. I need you. Like even like the thing I'm working on right now does not really segment. I can only work on the row that I can work on because I can't get ahead of myself at all. There's nothing. It's just a very straightforward kind of thing. Uneven is possibly just about tension. If you have trouble with it, you'll see on some of the times when I'm making my bracelets, I'll make minor like micro adjustments. I'll see that it's starting to lean off to a side, and I'll just grab all the strings and give it a pull into the direction it was supposed to be to keep things straight. And that really makes things kind of come out better. There are some patterns, like say a dovetail, like where an edge of the dovetail will tend to get a little out of whack, but with a little bit of practice, you can get that to work out. Like this is my glasses case. But yeah, they can get a little bit wonky. Sometimes it's the pattern more than anything. Yeah, that's just practice. That's nothing more than just getting the feel for it and getting it, whatever. Mind you, there is something very, very different about the way this thread lies on forward and backward knots, and it'll take time to get it to where they sit evenly. But if you try to make the knots out of like bigger, thicker rope, like what do they call that cord that they make the other bracelets with? The trooper stuff or whatever it is. Oh, thank you. If you try to make the knots with really big, thick rope and take a look at them side by side, they aren't exactly the same. And so it does make a difference, but you can make up with that for like with tension and stuff. And if your string is, right, it'll work out just fine. Is that what it's called? I don't know. There's survival bracelets where like you're supposed to be able to take it apart if you ended up in a situation. It's got that big thick rope. Right. Paracord, that's it. So yeah, if you do the 2 knots with paracord, you should be able to actually see the difference between how the knots actually lie. Yeah. Everybody got that at once. Right. I don't care that everybody else likes Coca-Cola, but I just like Pepsi. I don't know. It's with ADHD, it's never too early to have caffeine. Except for I tend to like to start with my coffee first, though. Look at this. I'm blazing through this row. Yeah, it's way too early for me. Definitely hats off to you guys for getting up so early to come watch me. But I'm a sweet kind of guy. Yeah, coffee is definitely the way to start the morning. I have like 3 cups or so. Right. No, I've seen it. I'm not sure. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. Count Chocula. The mushroom soup, the mushroom drink, I don't know. It's got no caffeine. Like, that caffeine is why it works. If I had my waffles, is a good one. Waffles or pancakes, yeah, that could be awesome. French toast with cinnamon and sugar on it and butter. You guys are lucky I have something to snack on when the stream ends. I don't know how this channel seems to always gravitate towards food in the evening, but that's, yeah. Ooh. I like a vanilla shake. That is like, I will go to Shake Shack for lunch, yeah, like whenever I get a chance, because I really love, like, their burger is like nice and fatty and just so good. And then a vanilla shake, like that's happening. Not exactly breakfast, but it might still be the first meal I have on those days. So
Wait, we managed to get the food chat without Minecraft here?
I know, right? I was thinking that same thought. It's usually her fault. Right on. Yeah, there's nothing quite like going grocery shopping when you're hungry either. That's usually bad news. Why? What would happen? Attack of the milkshakes here? Oh no. Now I have a thing for vanilla, like goes way, way back. Like my sister used to buy absolutely the cheapest ice cream possible. Like I can't even express like how bargain basement this stuff was. And she'd get the Neapolitan, right? Which is like the chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And I mean, as a child, you would think, love the chocolate, right? This stuff was so bad. The only one that was even decent was the vanilla. Yeah, well, I'm only on for another 14 minutes. The stream typically ends at 1 a.m. my time. So like we're like less than 15 minutes away. In case you're wondering, you're not going to miss much if you have to go out. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to make it all the way around tonight. this one row, but it is going really quick. For as much as I don't favor the backward knot, it really just goes quick. Cool. Oh, my Rainbow Shop was working on a cross stitch of a bakery. It's really cute. Me? Oh, I'm right-handed, but I favor my left hand a lot for some unknown reason. I like if I'm playing with like a hockey stick, I have to use the left-handed one. When the doctors ask which arm I want the vaccine in, it's always the right, because if you disable my left arm, I can't do my stuff.
Oh, it's so cute.
I want to go see. Oh, that is really cute. I've seen it at the stores, but I don't know where. Rainbow, you need one of these flashlights to find out what glows. And yes, a bunch of orange. I get my string from AliExpress, the factory store, because they give a good price.
Shop.
The factory shop. Joanne's, yeah. Oh, this? It's it's a Xiaomi. I've seen like shoelaces with that, but I haven't seen strings that works like.
I don't remember which watch you have.
The S1, I think, is the model, but it's Xiaomi. It was the first time of trying to. Well, no, I had the skinny ones before for Xiaomi, but I think it's the S1.
This one.
Right. Yeah, I like having something that can track and do stuff. And it syncs up really well with my phone, so alarms and messages and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, I'll be back here again next Saturday. There might be some member stream sometime this week. I don't know when. Maybe I'll even do a short something to show you where we are, like actually live, like while we're away. I don't know. I'm kind of undecided what's going to happen this week, but I'll be back next Saturday. This I hope is done. I don't know. I'd like to have this done, but I don't think I want to take it with me. So I don't know if it'll be working on this or the spats, or if we'll be onto yet one of the other mini projects that I have lined up to do. Oh, that'd be awesome, Maria. trying to think if there's anything else. Oh. Nice. Oh, there it is. So before I go, let me just thank my Patreon supporters and my YouTube members for making all this possible. Without these people helping, chipping in, I would have a hard time getting all this floss. So thank you guys so very much. Like I said, I'll be back next Saturday. And yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.